Hi, thanks for joining us today. My name is Mike DePaolo. I'm the partner manager here at BlueSnap. I'm joined today by Casey Griswold, the GM of Invoicing Solutions. For those who don't know, a little bit background about BlueSnap. BlueSnap acquired Armatic, an AR automation software, last fall, and together we've been expanding our partnership throughout the Sage Intacct ecosystem. And today we'd like to explain to you accelerating B2B business to business payments using the BlueSnap all-in-one payments and AR solution. So not all payments are created equal. We know this. It's fair to say that B2B payments innovation is overdue. 5 years ago, the payments landscape for B2B was completely different. There's a lot of change that happened in that time. Technology is indeed making it easier for industries in terms of easiness and speed, and most of all, cost efficiency now for accepting B2B payments. So B2B payments tend to be riddled with inefficiencies. Even though we have all these great updates over the last few years, we still have some issues. What are those inefficiencies? Why do they exist? Well, here's some of them. Manually generating invoices, receiving and handling paper checks. Both of these options are terrible. They both can naturally happen when companies fail to upgrade their reconciliation platforms as they scale, and just can become a major disaster down the road. Chasing down clients for money requires paying someone or a team of people to pick up the phone and manually email your cardholders. It's a waste of time, and it's costing you way too much. And reconciling multiple payment systems just becomes inefficient. So many ERP and CRM systems, back office softwares, although great, lack many of the payment automation functionalities that are needed today. And BlueSnap handles a lot of this through its integration with Sage Intacct. So B2B businesses need to meet customer expectations. What are those expectations? Well, let's look at B2C payments today. 96% of Americans buy online at least once a year. Why is that important? Well, B2C payments are creating muscle memory. And when that happens, it comes to payments, and they expect the same rules to apply to B2B payments. Of course, with all the increased online payments use out there, consumers are adapting to new payment methods and technologies such as wallets like Apple Pay and Google Pay. We all use them. These payment innovations have created expectations of convenience. BlueSnap has brought such convenience to Sage Intacct with its solution in the B2B space. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. What's happening today, the new norm. Enter COVID-19. What's the impact to B2B payments from COVID-19? A lot. Nobody wants to touch anything anymore. Paper checks, paper invoices, anything that I need to physically go into an office to get, I don't want to have to do. Also, there's this new need to support an expanded remote workforce. Everybody's working from home these days. And BlueSnap is seeing an uptick in businesses looking to go digital, contactless, since the onset of the pandemic, driving an acceleration that would have normally taken 3 to 5 years. Importantly, businesses where payments generally in cash, check, and card at point of sale stations, such as dentist office, lawyers firms, healthcare firms, etc., are looking for ways to digitize payments and invoices with pay links, virtual terminals, and in many cases, pay ahead, or as we know it, buy online, pick up at store. And it's important to digitize nowadays to keep a positive cash flow. Businesses need to make providing digital payments a priority, and they need to do it now. They need a strategy. B2B businesses need to simplify, digitize, and strategize their payments to get ahead. So what should they consider? What's the solution? Well, a few of them are supporting their workforce with tools like AR automation. This is something BlueSnap and Armatic brings to the table. Providing convenient methods of digital payments, BlueSnap has you covered there. We have over 100 different payment methods and over 100 different currencies to pay in. Offering self-service tools for customers to manage accounts, Armatic offers a software that does just this. And that's part of the reason we won business from Valvoline. The challenge there, they needed a holistic service and payment platform for the clients to help them manage their accounts. The solution, it was BlueSnap and the integration to Sage Intacct. That integration allowed the customers to have line item details on invoices, embedded payment links within their invoices, and the use of a customer portal. Let's turn it over to Casey to see what that portal looks like and for him to demonstrate the Armatic solution. Casey.
Thanks, Mike. So Armatic has been an Intacct partner since 2016. Very simply, we built the software to reduce the time, effort, and resources involved in invoicing and payments. And we did that through a couple of different benefits or solutions. So we provide AR automation tools. If you're familiar with the concept of outreach, or it's like sales automation tools like outreach, or just the general concept of an email drip campaign, we built that into Armatic. We provide payment interfaces and customer portals. We also automate payments and keep track of all of the communication and collections activity that are going on in the account. So the way that we did all of this is by our connection to Intacct considers Intacct as a source of truth. So we synchronize all customers, invoices, payments bidirectionally from Intacct to Armatic and payments from Armatic back to Intacct, keeping the two systems constantly in sync and allowing you to continue whatever workflow you had in place prior. So Armatic almost acts as an extension of your Intacct account. So let's go into the AR automation. Most customers that I speak with are managing AR with a combination of aging reports and spreadsheets. It's all very manual. Not only do you have to constantly review which invoices and which accounts need your attention, but you also have to figure out why each invoice is passed through. Is it the customer's error, or something on your side, as well as what stage of contact you are with each account prior to sending out your generic follow-up. So you need to know if this is the first time you're following up with the customer or if you've sent 20 emails previously. And so what we did to deal with that problem is we built cadences. So very simply, a cadence is a set of rules that could be assigned at the customer or the invoice level to manage all of those activities for you in advance. All right, so each one of these is a separate set of rules that you could have set up to manage different customer relationships. So maybe you have customers that have been with you since you opened your doors and you want to send different communication to them versus your new customers, or customers that are on an automatic payment plan where you're charging them automatically versus customers that are on net billing terms. So the communication with these customers is different based on the billing scenarios that you have set up. So you could set up a cadence to manage each one of those scenarios. And then very simply within each cadence, you plan your entire process from start to finish. Everything is event driven. So the first event in my slow pairs cadence, as I've named it, is to actually deliver the invoice. All right, so every time an invoice is created out of Intacct, this message here will automatically be sent out through your email provider. So it's not coming from BlueSnap or Armatic, it's coming from your account. So if a customer responds, it'll go right back to you. It pulled in what we call placeholders or a mail merge. So things like invoice number and due date and amount and customer name could all be pulled into this communication, as well as a call to action here, which is directing them right to that invoice with the ability to print it, download it, and make a payment. Right, the invoice that's displayed here is actually the invoice that Intacct generates. So we display that same invoice here to keep everything consistent. Customers could then make a payment here using all the payment options that are available through BlueSnap: credit card, ACH, SEPA, mobile wallets, etc. If the payment is made, we're going to submit that payment back to Intacct and record it in the account that you choose there. So marking the invoice is paid in Intacct. It's also paid in Armatic as it synchronizes over, and the cadence will end. So the customer won't receive any further communication. If the invoice isn't paid, however, it just continues on down the list as long as these conditions are being met. So we have conditions that could go out before the due date, as in this example. This one's set up to go out 15 days after the invoice is due. You have up to 4 characters here, so you can follow up for a maximum of about 1,000 days. After that, you're on your own. Any message could be set up to go out automatically or not. Right? So this is a really important distinction here. It's really difficult to automate everything. It's not possible in my opinion. So that means everything that you can't safely send automatically, you have to manage yourself. So by having this distinction here, you could build out your full communication workflow from start to finish, including all the steps that you don't need to be involved in, typically everything up to about 60 to 90 days past due. Beyond that, if you're going to say things like termination of service or account cancellation or collections, those reminders could still be built into your workflow, but not set up to go out automatically. And they'll just sit in your to-do list, waiting to be approved, edited, or canceled. From there, we're going to keep track of all of this activity. Right? So all user and customer events are logged in the Armatic system, the Armatic software. So everything that is happening on the account, invoices are being viewed, payments are being made, emails are being viewed, cadences are changed, notes are made. All of that stuff is logged in the account. You could take notes on the account and trigger manual communication from here. So this is just helping you keep track of who did what and what's supposed to happen next. Right? So you have the full customer account breakdown through here. You can see all of their invoices, payments, credits, everything on in their intact account is visible through here. All the communication, both email that are sent from Armatic, as well as just communication that's sent between you and the customer outside of Armatic could also be logged in the system to provide a true log of all the correspondence back and forth. And again, the idea here is just to make the process of following up with this customer, answering customer questions a little bit easier. In addition to the invoice payment screen here, so each invoice is going to have its own unique URL that could be sent to the customer. This does not require any sort of login, so anyone that has access to this URL would be able to see the invoice and make a payment. We also have, in addition to that, a pay balance link. So each customer in your account would have access, or the ability rather, to be sent this unique URL that would display all of their open invoices and the ability to make a single payment for all of them. Same rules apply. If the payment's made here, we're going to push it back to Intact and record it there. They could also, in addition to viewing and paying all invoices, they could pay some of them. So I want to pay this invoice and that one instead of all. And they could click into the details of each individual invoice as well. These are both in addition to our customer portal. So the customer portal is password protected. It's the only one that is. You would invite your customers here. You could actually invite multiple contacts from each account to have their own portal access. Within the portal, a customer would have access to everything. So all invoices, both open and paid, are visible from within the portal. They can see any credits, statements that have been generated for their account. If they're on a payment plan, which we do help manage here, they can see the details of that. You could also share files with the customer in their portal. So anything uploaded to the customer record here under attachments is shared with the customer in their portal here. They could pay their balance as well as update the saved payment information that they have on their account, which actually leads me right to payment automation. So if we get questions all the time for, hey, I've just switched over to Intact and I'm using their contracts module, which is great, but now I need to charge the invoices that are being created, and how do we do that? So Armatic, the Armatic software, has a couple of different options for this. So number one, we could put each customer, right, Armatic demo is the customer here, we could put each one on an automatic payment schedule. So you could say for the first of the month, I want to charge this customer for any invoices that are due. This rule would run on October 1st. And if this customer had any invoices that were due or past due, they would be charged, assuming the customer had a payment method on file. You could do this weekly, every other week on Tuesday if you wanted, for all invoices, regardless of due date. You could have this run daily, which would actually check every 20 minutes to see if there's any invoices that match the condition and queue them up for payment. You also have the option to, instead of going customer by customer and putting each one in an automatic payment schedule, you could set up an invoice level automatic payment rule. And this will look for certain invoices that match a filter here and queue those up for payment. So a good example would be the invoice number starts with the letter R. Those invoices can be set up for payment either upon invoice creation, or we'll schedule the payment for the invoice due date. And you could add multiple parameters. So you could say if the invoice number begins with the letter R and the balance is less than $5,000. Well, those invoices should be charged automatically. There's a lot of different options here, but the whole idea is to streamline the time, effort, and resources involved in getting paid. So that includes payment automation, the communication involved, and keeping track of all of those things as well. From there, we actually embedded these various payment options into Intact. So for customers that are looking just for payment functionality only, maybe they don't need the full AR automation, they just want to have the ability to send their customers an email from Intact with the ability to make a payment, we provide that as well. So for each customer in Intact, we've added the ability, or technically they're user-defined fields with our payment links. So from here, you could direct a customer right from an Intact template, an email template, or an invoice or statement template to view and pay that invoice online. I happen to choose one that was already paid. Let me try that one more time here. So I could go right here. This one is posted. I have the ability to charge the payment method on file right from within Intact, or direct the customer to the online version of that invoice where they could view, print it, or make payments through here. This is also available for each customer in Intact. Each customer, you would have the ability to, find one here, to access the shopper ID, which is the BlueSnap identifier, the payment method link if you just need to capture the payment information. You could do that right from here, or direct the customer to pay their balance, which takes some money here. Same pay balance link is available in their Armatic account. Same rules apply. Payments made through this interface are posted back to Intact and recorded there as well. There's a lot of other little bells and whistles. We have late fees, payment plans. There's custom fields for mapping data over. But again, everything's designed to be an extension of Intact, allowing you to keep your existing workflow and just make your life a little bit easier when it comes to invoicing and collecting payments.